Tots to my channel for a new speed build video. So this right here is the second video in my new save file for the Willow Creek rebuild that I'm doing with brand new townies and brand new just locations, houses, everything. Some houses I'm just going to be renovating a bit, but other ones I'm just completely demolishing things and adding my own flavor for what I feel like this town should have. So what we have here today is a chapel. So just let me tell you a little bit about it. So located in the historical part of town, this chapel has been around for many years. It's seen many beautiful wedding ceremonies and the loss of precious loved ones. On Sunday mornings, you can find some of the local townsfolk gathering together for early services and catching up on the events of the week. It's in the evening on the weekends that things really liven up when this small chapel plays host to all sorts of events. People often visit here after hearing about its beautiful gardens, pond, and comfortable atmosphere. Make sure you just stop by for your own visit sometime. But yeah, so that is a little info about this, and this is the Old Willow Creek Chapel and Cemetery. So my inspiration for this build is after doing the build or the creative sim for both Eileen and Vernon. I wanted to make something that brought a little bit of charm to this town because as you guys both know, if both know, man, I'm really struggling right now. But with Eileen and Vernon Holmes, they have lived in Willow Creek for such a long time. So I wanted a taste of that to come through in this. And so I wanted to add a historical part of town because there already kind of is that area. And so I decided to build this chapel. And there is also a cemetery that is coming soon as well that will be across the street from this chapel. But yeah, anyway, so I wanted this just to be a cute, quaint little building and, nothing too extravagant. This is just your local small town kind of church building, essentially. And so here I wanted to add where you've got a little bit of a parking lot for the people that do work here, like the pastor or whatnot. And so here you have a side door entryway, and that will actually go into an office and where they put together all the activities and events that are going on at the church and just within the community. And then there's also, of course, a bathroom for people to stop and go to. And so I just added some vehicles from debug mode just so that that way we could have a little bit of a taste that there is civilization here. And I just made this kind of like a generic lot. I believe, I don't think I made this like a park or anything like that because you have to have a grill, and I just felt that was unnecessary. But what I actually did with this build was before I even started building it, I decided to try something different. And I just took my notebook and I literally just sketched out a layout or design that I wanted to do for this entire lot for this chapel. So I had an idea for the design of the chapel itself, which is pretty generic, just like your basic chapel that you see just probably in your own local towns or cities. And then I decided I wanted to have a really beautiful garden area for some photographs for after, like if there's a wedding here, that they have a really beautiful area to go and take family photos or pictures with the bridesmaids and the groomsmen or just the pictures of the couple themselves. And so I just wanted to have this really beautiful area that was just really peaceful. And that way too, for those that have lost loved ones, there's just a beautiful area for them to go and relax, just take in the beautiful nature around them and things such as that. And so I had a really fun time with this garden because I've always wanted to use more of romantic garden, and I finally got the opportunity to use more of the shrubbery and things from that and like the arches and the statues and whatnot. And so I really had a lot of fun with that. And then also my other idea with this build was if you're going to have a wedding, you could do it inside if you wanted to, so you could just move an arch in there just so that it does happen. But I wanted to use the pond tool that we've gotten with our, oh my gosh, not cottage living, country living. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the newest expansion pack, but you guys know what I mean. And so I wanted to try to instill using that because I haven't gotten to really play around with it much, and I felt that this was the perfect opportunity to do that. So I just wanted to have kind of this long elongated pond that they have some fish in and just some of the wildlife that can be associated with it. No alligators, no alligators to ruin a wedding. But yeah, just having a lot of beautiful flowers to really set the mood. Because again, with this being a chapel that's really popular within Willow Creek to be used for weddings, I wanted to make sure that this had a lot of really beautiful spots with a lot of flowers and shrubbery and things that just made this place really homey and just beautiful, because this is what one of the most beautiful spots in town that is very well known, and that's why a lot of people like to have their weddings here. And so I added some different things of wildlife with the fish and some dragonflies, and I think I did add swans as well. But yeah, I just kind of had fun with it, and I did keep things to an extent kind of what would you say, like symmetrical, I guess, with like some of the shrubbery. And so I just kind of played around with it and had fun because I wanted a lot of color, things to pop. And I feel like too here with using the pink roses on these bushes, I felt that that was very much more so wedding like. And so I had a good time with that, and I just wanted to box everything in so that it's more secluded so the public outside of this church can't just like crash your wedding because I just feel like that's not really appropriate. But yeah, and then a beautiful wedding arch with almost the same colored flowers, and then just setting this up with aisles for all the guests. And then, of course, I do end up adding like a red carpet kind of for them to walk down, if our Sims actually did that. I wish that there was like some kind of a wedding mod, or maybe like they add that on a gameplay where your Sims can walk down the aisle and actually have a full on wedding. I think that would be really cool. And so here on the interior of the church itself, the door that they walk out of is supposed to be kind of like a bride's room. So that way she can get dressed in there. There's big mirrors that I add to let her be able to look at herself before she walks down the aisle for her wedding and whatnot. But yeah, here we have on the interior, I tried to keep it just like a classic muted kind of tone of what I would picture for a church, and especially with the darker wood. And then we have our chapel, of course, where people can come for the congregation, for the meetings on Sunday to come together. And I just used the podium because I really didn't have anything else to use. And I thought about using a platform, but I have issues sometimes with platforms working out. And I'll just be straight honest with you guys. I got lazy and I just didn't want to deal with it. So, yeah, truth about me, guys. I got real lazy. But anyways, I added a really beautiful chandelier, and of course, what the best things I could find for stained glass, and then an organ for the worship music and things like that. And I added a lot of like random bulletins because I feel like every time you go to like a church building, usually they have bulletins talking about the announcements for the local activities or events that are happening in town, and the socials that they're going to be doing at the church that week. And this right here is the office for the pastor or just the church workers, where they can come and find the files of things that they need for things that may be going on, or their membership record. And then I did the older photos of like maybe this is like when the church was getting built. So I really just had a lot of fun with this because this is the first time I have ever actually built a chapel or a church in a sense. And so it was a totally new experience for me to do it. And so I just thought it was really, really exciting. It was different, it was refreshing, and I just had a really good time with making this. And of course I added flowers, and this is like I'm pretending it's like the tithing basket if you want to make donations. And then just adding some plants, and then in the foyer area too, I also add a table with like a book for people to sign in. So maybe if there's like a funeral, people can sign in the guest book, or if there's a wedding, and then as well as just adding it there for maybe if there's like a membership record kind of a thing, because that's typically what you see. But yeah, this was really fun with the interior, but the best part of this entire build, if I'm being 100% honest with you, was just doing the exterior, like the garden and making the pond and the whole outside was so much fun. And I think I've mentioned this before in some of my other speed builds that like I love doing landscaping. I just think it's really fun. Now, when it comes to landscaping, you've probably heard me say this before as well. I am not the best at all when it comes to using the elevation tool. Like when you're trying to raise land up, like I just suck at that. Like I have so many issues and I'm trying so hard to get better at it. And so obviously, if you don't do it, you're never going to get better at it. So I should probably start doing it more, if you know what I mean. But yeah, the bathroom, I kept it pretty small and simple. I was only able to fit 2 stalls in there, so I just, left it at that. And I wanted to just make sure that there was the necessities that everyone needed in this build. Bathrooms, check. Office, check. Place for the ceremonies or the worship, check. And then of course the wedding part in the back, check, and a garden. So I think I might start doing that from now on, like what I did for this one, where I start like sketching out my layouts beforehand because it made building this so much easier and so much faster. I made far less mistakes than I typically make because, guys, if I'm being honest, like the Sims catalog for items, it's so big. It really is. And plus, especially if you have like, oh my gosh, why am I forgetting what it's called? Oh, custom content. And if you have custom content, then it just gets even bigger. Also, that's the bride's room. So I end up getting rid of that couch so that there's a vanity in there. So that way she can look at herself, fix her makeup before she walks down the aisle. And it's just perfect. And then this room right here, I was going to use it essentially as storage. So you see me putting like storage stuff in here. But then I realized like, oh my gosh, I don't have a kitchen for them to make a cake if there's a caterer for the weddings here. So I totally end up scrapping everything in this room and putting in a kitchen instead. But yeah, anyways. So what was I saying before? Oh yeah, that I want to just make sure I start drawing these because it makes it a lot easier for me because yeah, as I was saying, the catalog is huge, and if I'm gonna be like 100 and 1,000 whatever percent like honest with you guys, I have a really hard time remembering what all the items are, and so I feel like I make a lot of mistakes. Like I just spend my sweet time searching through the catalog because I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about this, or oh, I've never used this before. What's this? And like it takes me forever, honestly. And so, yeah, I need to get a little bit better at that. But, anyways, so yeah, here we have the outdoor part. This was so fun. An outdoor, like little pergola where they can have the cake and then their food served. And of course, a bar with some lights. And then you've got to have tables, of course, for all your guests to sit at. So we add some tables and some chairs. And then we add little centerpieces with candles. I think I did candles. I'm pretty sure I did candles. But yeah, little outdoor chairs. But then I felt like some of them were a little too close, so I just kind of played around with the placement of them. It was kind of difficult for me, honestly, but I think I got it. And then this area over here to the left was where you could get your photo taken in that arch, and then an easel for painting. So that way you could get your painting done there too if you would like a portrait like that. And then of course you got to have your area to dance in and your DJ. Like this is a bumpin' place for weddings. And then if you want to have a wedding late into the evening, this way you've got lighting everywhere. So that way nobody is lost or unable to see because with Willow Creek, there's older residents there, and not all of them can see very well. So, we got to take care of our elderly. But, anyways, this was just so fun. And these flowers, I was so excited to add these flowers. And I didn't originally even plan on doing that, but I just hated the way that the edging looked because, guys, I've told you I'm not very good at that. But these flowers just added so much and pop and just made it even that much more beautiful for photos. And oh my gosh, like I am really, really ecstatic and happy with how this build came out to be. And to be like the first kind of, I guess, public place for my new save file of Willow Creek, I think is just fantastic and has really like made me excited to renovate and change the rest of it. But of course, guys, speed builds do take time. Like I spent a couple of days on this build. And then also, then you film, like you're filming it, and editing the video takes definitely some time, and then doing a voiceover takes time, getting the photos of it, it is very time consuming, and you just got to balance your life and work, and it's just, you know, it gets crazy sometimes. But anyways, I am really happy. I added cute little flowers in the front. And then, yes, the sign for the chapel, we're just going to pretend that it says Old Willow Creek Chapel. And this isn't the cemetery, obviously, but I did tell you guys that there is a cemetery coming. So don't you worry. Don't worry. That is probably going to be the next speed build video that I put up, even though it's like not really a build, but it is a build. It's more of just like object placing. There is a small building that I have started to work on there. But anyways, guys, this will be uploaded on my gallery. There is no CC whatsoever in this build, so definitely download it if you are interested in it. And you can also check under my hashtag of hashtag SIMato save file. I believe that is what my hashtag is. I'll put it down in the info down below this video in case I am like totally saying it wrong. I don't remember, but it is highly possible. But thank you guys so much for joining me on this speed build. It was so much fun, and I hope you enjoy this as much as I do, and just have fun with it. And definitely send me pictures if you end up using it and having weddings here. All right, Tater Tots, I will see you again next time.
I'm buzzing, let's drink up. Your death look like big fun. Come on, let's get it.